Dudes. Thanks for having me on the show, dudes.
Thanks for coming in so early. We know it was a struggle for you to wake up, 80s man, and to pull yourself away from your teddy bear.
I haven't woken up before 2 p.m. in like 20 years, man.
That's a true rocker right there.
And smell it.
Hey.
Ooh.
Is this the kind of welcome you would give to guests who come into your studio?
I gave you breakfast.
You did buy me breakfast. I appreciate that. Prego del Ego, as I'll call you.
Prego del Ego.
I like that.
And
Only
then
I'll let you do it. Yeah.
to my left, we've got the sparkly disco ball.
Woohoo!
That's a nice shirt.
I want to know what you're going to say about him.
You didn't feel like dressing up today, huh, sir?
Miami Vice. Come on. Rolled up sleeves.
That's
little
his
medallion.
80s outfit.
Come on.
80s man, we want to tell the truth. I bought the necklace down for him to wear.
This necklace
Do you approve of it?
This is the most interesting thing about you, is this necklace.
That's what's often said. Often. Very often.
Oh my gosh. Guys, we're live on Facebook. Don't miss the action. Head on over right now. 1FM 913. Check out 80s Man. Check out Shazad's 80s rolled up sleeves. I mean, wow, the extent of the effort that we went through this morning to turn up in costume. Wow.
I tried. I brought a brown scrunchie for him, but he said, no, thank you.
Yeah.
I just cut my hair as well.
I don't know where to put it.
Such a
Scrunchy.
shame. Oh,
yeah,
dear.
yeah.
Okay.
So we're into the top 10 of our greatest hits of all time countdown. This is the 80s edition. Oh my goodness. We need to find out. Who's coming in at number 10?
Is number 10? Well, it is a song by Roxette. It is their biggest hit.
Oh.
It Must Have Been Love.
Yes.
Which, of course, really kind of grabbed the imagination when it was in Pretty Woman.
Yes.
And
so iconic.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So this was 5 different versions of this song have been released, but this is the one that everyone remembers.
Hey, everybody.
It's 80s Man in the house. Hey, your glove matches my blouse.
Oh, yeah,
Cut
dude.
from the same cloth.
Oh, there you go.
Did you
There
also
you go.
buy it at Far East Plaza? Is that where you go shopping for your clothing?
Well, back in the day, yes. I mean,
Back in the
77th
day.
Street. Do you remember that?
Of course.
Yeah, that's where all the hip kids went to get all their cool stuff. I mean, all the Rastafari stuff. I mean, tie-dye was really popular back in the day. All those leather bracelets.
It's got a bit of tie-dye going on, isn't it? It's a bit of tie-dye there.
Exactly, you're right.
This is straight up Maori tattoos.
On your shirt, 80s Man.
Where's the chest hair?
He's so spaced out. He forgot what he's wearing on his
Where's the
body.
chest
It's got a
hair?
lot going on there.
Where's
It's got a
your
lot
sexy
going on.
chest hair?
Where's my chest hair? I left it in 1989 after I slept with Belinda Carlisle.
Oh, she wanted a souvenir. I see. Oh, all the real gossip coming out now with 80s Man in the studio.
Oh,
It's
yeah, I
exciting,
saw the
though.
circle in her sand, that's for sure.
I'm not so sure she had quite the same response. You know, I don't think she came out equally enthused about it.
Must have been love. It really must have been love for you two.
Hey, after that night, she wrote the song Heaven is a Place on Earth. You tell me how they went.
You went to the stars and back, I feel.
Oh, my
What
goodness.
were you on?
The blushing that's going on in the studio because of 80s Man, the stories that he will tell, especially about the top 10. What is it so far? So how do you feel about Roxette coming in at 10? How do you feel about the countdown so far?
And what is that on your face? Is that
What do you mean?
Is that sunscreen that you couldn't bother
It gets
to,
a bit hot around here.
I came straight from a cricket test match against Australia.
How do you feel about the top 10 then?
So we need to talk when the songs are playing. Who are we talking to?
Our audience, our listeners, they're watching us on
That's
on Facebook.
right.
Through this little tiny camcorder?
Yes.
You didn't have a camcorder back in the day?
No, do you know that books have faces now as well? It's amazing.
Who would have thought? Oh my gosh.
So yes, It Must Have Been Love, used in that classic romantic comedy.
Pretty Woman.
Pretty Woman, the classic love story. Man buys whore, whore dresses up.
Do you think a film like that would fly in this day and age? Do you think it would do well?
Hey, Julia Roberts is like evergreen, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were a thing back in
After Belinda.
88.
That's not long after Belinda.
Why do you
Or was
think
there an
he
overlap?
does it one woman at a time? 80s man is for so many women. I'm not surprised if he ran a few of them at the same time, right?
Oh, yeah. They
They
knew
all
me.
wanted
And
you. That's why he's got no more chest hair. They all took a piece of it.
they all want a souvenir
They
of
all
the 80s,
wanted a
man.
souvenir. All right, we are heading back on air for more
On hair.
of our on
Did you say
air.
we're back on hair?
Well, to you it was on hair. You wanted some of that chest hair, right? No, it's on air. And then we're going to have more of our countdown. Remember, we're going into song number 9. You need to find out which one it is, so come and join us.
Been love. Yes, that's what Julia Roberts said in Pretty Woman.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Okay, inside that top 10 now. Finally, a song that I personally can get behind. One that I really love. It's a classic, one of the biggest selling singles of all time, more than 10 million copies sold. And I believe, 80s man, you know, I'm sure you appreciate a good old Michael Jackson.
I was there when we wrote it, man.
Together?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
you
was
gave me
there.
credit.
It was inspired by how you would discipline children in Singapore schools in the 80s.
You would not even give them a name. You just say the it. You
Yeah.
wouldn't even say him or her. Okay.
Get that Rotan was the
Rotan.
Asian title when they released it over here.
It must have been very popular in that case. You know what? I didn't realize this. You know, I was so happy to have 80s Man down, but I didn't realize how much he was a part of all these hit songs.
He is the link. He is the
Writing
glue
them.
to all these songs.
He was probably the muse to many of the artists back then, weren't you?
Well,
Yeah.
that's one word for it.
MJ wanted to call it Eat It, you know, about his favorite food, and I said, just put the B on, man.
Here it is.
They told him, don't you ever come around here. Don't wanna see your face, you better disappear. The fire's in their eyes and their words are really clear. So beat it, just beat it. You better run, you better do what you
And welcome back to the top 10 countdown for our greatest hits of all time. Countdown, the 80s edition. And of course, we're joined with our very special guest. He was the muse, co-songwriter, co-lyricist, I don't know, everything. Lover, I don't know, what else? Bandmate of many artists from the
groupie.
80s. Groupie. 80s man!
Hello,
Hey!
dudes.
Tell us about your outfit, 80s
Yes,
man.
yes,
What was
yes. The
the inspiration
elements within
behind
the-
There's a lot going on
that's,
there.
That's definitely a Michael Jackson touch, right? The sequin glove.
You talk about it like it's an outfit, like I don't wear this every day.
Oh, yes.
This
You
is my
do?
natural look, but yes, this was inspired by my boy Mike.
Mike.
Actually,
And-
Michael was inspired by you, wasn't
Of
it?
course.
Perhaps.
Yeah,
And that moonwalk, you know, where did that come
exactly.
from?
I was the one who came up with that. Yeah.
Right.
We were walking through LA and this real ugly girl came up to me and she was like, "Hey, 80s man, I love you." I was like, "I got to get away from this." So I was like, "Woo!" Michael saw it, stole it, performed it, and now they call it the moonwalk.
When he never gave you the credit that you deserve.
We haven't spoken since then.
Fair enough. And that's why he's got this song, Beat It, at the moment. Kind of appropriate.
Maybe it was a message to you, 80s man. Was it?
Oh,
Like,
wow.
You served your time.
Yeah,
You're off now.
Beat it.
Yeah, it was actually the Jackson 6 for a short period of time, and I was there playing triangle.
Oh, right.
But they decided it was unnecessary for their musical vision, so they dropped it down to Jackson 5.
The most important instrument just dropped like that.
I mean, the audio landscape would have been much different
I
today
think so.
had they kept me
Just
on.
beat it. Ding! Could you tell us how that would sound? At which point of the song would it come in?
Oh, instead of the Eddie Van Halen guitar solo,
Yeah.
it was
you.
supposed to be a triangle solo.
So, right. How would that sound? Like,
Well, it would sound like dingle, 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 dingle.
Oh my goodness, that would have been a hit. No,
I know they should hand out Grammys for that.
With
too.
the nursery schools.
They made a big mistake putting Eddie Van Halen on it, I think. Really did. Really, really did.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, we're going to come on back on air, some traffic, and going into song number 8. Come and join us on 1FM 91.3. Isn't something great peeking out from the back of your scarf? Just wanted the bandana. Just wanted to let you know.
What's wrong with my hair?
What's wrong with dangly bits?
Nothing is wrong with your hair. You always look so good. But just so you know. Coming back on air.
1FM 91.3. 1FM weather.
There'll be thundery showers over many areas in the afternoon, with temperatures reaching a high of 33 degrees Celsius.
1FM weather brought to you by Mitsubishi Electric. Mitsubishi Electric StarMax Aircon saves you energy and money. It's easy to clean and is one of the quietest.
'80s man with the '80s edition of the greatest hits of all time countdown with Carol, Lavinia, and Shazad. This is the Brightside. This is 1FM 91.3, and now it's time for song number 8.
I want to give credit here because 80s Man has played a part in all these songs we've had so far.
Oh, for sure.
And in fact, the next one, Bon Jovi, he couldn't handle the rabble-rousing ways of 80s Man, and he wrote this song dedicated to 80s Man.
Ooh.
Hey,
kicked him
man.
out of the band.
Yeah, man.
Right?
I was in Bon Jovi.
As well as
Well,
in
you
addition
leading
to the
it. You were
Jackson
probably
6.
leading it, weren't
Of
you?
course.
Actually, it wasn't named Bon Jovi at the time. He just, once you left, then he named it after himself.
I mean, that was the main problem. He wanted to name it after himself, and I was like, bro, I'm writing all the songs here. You think you can just come in with your feathered hair and take the band name? And we had a major falling out.
I think you know, apart from loving the likes of Linda Carlisle and who else was it? Did you have?
My string of conquests extends to all the girls of Bananarama.
Okay.
Julia Roberts.
Couple of bangles.
Yeah.
Julia Roberts and then three quarters of the bangles, yeah.
Is that how they got their name as well?
Oh, no. Hey, you know what? Why is it? You know, there's no documentary, there's no Netflix show on you 80s, man. I question that. It is not right. It is a crime to society.
Well, I hope they're listening in right now. They're making documentaries about anything now.
That's true.
The Menendez brothers, you know, David Beckham's got his own one.
Yeah.
Who cares about them?
There's
80s,
just
man.
a little hole that needs to be filled right
Yeah.
now. That's probably what they said too. So this song now dedicated to you. You Give Love a Bad Name, Bon Jovi. That is at number 8 on our countdown.
Shot to the heart, and you're too late, darling. You give love a bad.
Back live. Oh my goodness. I my makeup's gonna run
Yeah.
for sure.
You just
The
said, oh my
eyeliners-
goodness.
Yeah, oh my
'Cause you're
goodness.
so excited.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gooses.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goosebumps.
I don't blame you because in the presence of 80s man,
Oh, he's
we all
glorious.
just fall apart.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
look at that hair.
Amazing hair.
Can you share with us some hair tips? How did you maintain this awesome mane of just vibrant,
Awesomeness.
Gloriousness. Gloriousness.
Well,
Yes.
it's genetics, really. My mother was a Hawaiian hula
Princess?
dancer,
Princess.
and my father comes from New Zealand.
So the sheepiness. was part of it.
It's like there's a
shagginess.
there's a thick curliness to my hair, which will only come from that kind of genetic splicing.
So something about Hawaiian and then something about sheep and then you get 80s man.
You put them together, there you
Yeah.
go. You get
Right.
this concoction of brilliance.
So tell us about the goss with Bon Jovi. Why do you think he said, he feels that you give love a bad name? What happened between the two of you?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he wanted to name the band after himself, and I was like, how obsessed are you? Own self say.
Own self say.
So, because prior to that, it was named after me. It was the 80s Man
Trio.
Collective.
That's a great
Which rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
So much better.
And he said, that's not going to sell 1 million records. And I was like,
You
you're
know
wrong.
nothing.
Shot through the heart, literally. You hurt
Yeah.
him. You hurt him when you walked away.
But the real turning point was whenever he gave me some bad medicine. Yeah. And I just couldn't hang around with someone who would endanger my health in such a way.
He was trying to poison you, dude. But I want to know this. You knew everyone back then in the 80s. Is there anyone you're still friends with?
Oh, I still roll with Hall & Oates.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
awesome. They're
Is that
cool.
is that your breakfast now? Is that what you call your breakfast?
Correct.
I eat mine.
Where
Oats in the
where
hall.
you eat it, yeah.
Oats in the hall, yeah.
And, me and Rick Astley.
Right.
We're bros.
You still rolling?
Funny
Rick
you
rolling?
should bring him up. Funny you should bring him up. Because he is coming up very shortly.
My boy. Oh, he
okay,
was
okay.
best man at my 4th wedding.
Yeah, and actually, he seems to be keeping the faith with you as well. I think there's a song he's dedicated to
Fourth
you.
wedding to whom?
The 4th wedding was a secret one. Not many people know about it. It was Paula Abdul.
Right. Straight up, huh?
People say we were different, but
Yeah.
opposites attract.
With lines like that, they are falling all over for you. Seriously. Yes.
Well, you must have been just so busy, all these women
Yeah.
around
How'd you find the time to write any songs?
That's right.
Oh my
Well, I
God.
mean, that's why I've never had my own Billboard Hot 100. I just didn't have the time.
Because you dedicated yourself to all the women.
So
didn't
just
you?
hot, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Go-Go's were named the Stay Stays before I got to them.
All right, we're heading back on air. Come and join us as we count down to song number 8 in our top 10 for our greatest hits of all time countdown. This is the 80s edition.
Who doesn't want to be a
Can I just say, very good morning. It's us, the Brightside, with 80s Man, counting down to the top 10. We're about to showcase song number 8. And can I ask everyone, you need to tune in to our Facebook Live. Please log on, because that's where the real gossip is happening.
Yes.
I didn't know this, The Stay Stays are now actually called the Go-Go's after you were done with them.
I had a lot of input on the
bet you did.
performers of the 80s.
We're learning that,
Yeah.
about really your true impact. You had your finger in everything.
In every pie.
Every pie. In
Every circle in the sand.
Yeah.
Okay, we're also getting people guessing which song from the 80s is going to be the number one song. So we're having guesses there on Facebook as well. Come join us and see if you are correct. And reminder that we are going to be calling back one lucky listener this morning to give out an amazing prize worth $1,200 from Crown Plaza, Changi Airport, all for simply correctly guessing the number one song for 2024.
We also have this comment from CF. It says, good morning, Carol, Lavinia, Shazad. Thank you for bringing back the 80s. It definitely brings back all the good memories. I am enjoying it, really, even after all you've learned how 80s Man was involved.
Well, if you missed it earlier on Facebook Live, he was telling us that the best man at his 4th wedding was Rick Astley.
Oh yeah, we're close. We're like 2 peas in a pod.
Right. And despite you falling out with, the likes of Michael Jackson, John Bon Jovi, he stuck with you.
Well, I mean, he stayed around because he only had one hit. You know what I mean? The success didn't go to his head.
No, that's true. In fact, that hit's coming up. And he dedicated it to you because he stuck with you all these years. It's Never Gonna Give You Up, which has had a bit of a resurgence in recent years. It's an evergreen classic. This is number 7 on our greatest hits of all time, 80s edition countdown on 1FM 91.3.
Live while the number 7 song is playing, that one from Rick Astley, Never Gonna Give You Up. Apparently it was dedicated to 80s man at his 4th wedding.
How did you inspire this song?
Well, me and Rick we go back a long way.
Yeah.
But I must say that in recent years, things have been a little bit testy between us because
What happened?
I really wanted to borrow his DVD. There's a particular animated movie that I really love about a little boy and a bunch of balloons, and he said, no. He said, I'm never going to give you up.
So that's how.
And after that,
hence the rift.
I was like, come on, man. It's just a DVD, you know. These things are like 15 years old. And he's very precious about his collection of Pixar movies. Yeah, he really loves Finding Nemo as well.
So after that, you guys don't talk anymore?
Not so much.
It's kind of sad that a friendship can go astray over a DVD, huh?
Yeah.
You never thought of buying your own? I mean, they're streaming now.
Now they're streaming.
Disney Plus, have you?
Now he looks like a fool. DVDs mean nothing.
He's
But you still
staging a
want
bit
it.
of a comeback at the moment.
He is.
He's quite popular.
How do you feel about that?
How do you feel about that?
He's on
Are
a
you
roll.
going to
The Rick
support
roll.
him?
I was the first person to share a YouTube video,
Right.
which inspired and started the Rick rolling phenomenon.
I knew it.
Right.
I
We were
knew it.
friends
Of
back then.
course, yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you haven't claimed credit for yet? I'm just wondering.
Well, yeah, like Wake Me Up Before I Go Go. I'm not claiming that. That's awful.
Because you was waiting for Stay Stay, was it? Is that what it used to be? No?
Wake me up before I stay.
No, because it was the Go-Go's after he was
Yeah.
done with them. Before that, it was the Stay
Stay
Stay.
Stay. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been paying close attention to all your achievements.
Oh,
Yeah.
she said that. She just flicked her hair as well. I'm getting a bit concerned here.
Hey, let's not spread rumors, yeah? I
Let's
am
not
pregnant
spread
with
rumors
number
if there's
4.
an 80s baby in there.
Whoa! My husband is tuning in.
Oh.
Do you want another accident on the traffic updates, which is coming up, by the
Why
way?
was that segue into an accident? And notice how she used the phrase another
Yes,
accident?
I said, do you want... Oh, hey! I didn't mean it that way. But yes, I'm going to give you some traffic
All
updates.
is revealed.
And then we are going into
On
top
Facebook.
top six of the songs. These guys, tell me, cheeky as
Another accident.
heck. Cheeky as heck. Another. Let me just get this one out of my body first, okay? Before I think about another accident for
Yes.
number 5.
Yeah.
Come on, no, one thing at a time.
One at a time.
Okay, all right. Is going on right now on 1FM 91.3 News and Sports, but I'd to be here with the 80s man.
Burning question from CJ. He wants to know if 80s man is more Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue, or Poison inspired.
I feel like he's inspired the look for all of them.
If I'm being totally honest, when I Googled 80s rock star,
It was just you.
Bret Michaels
Right.
came up, which is Poison, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
so-
not your face. Was
Yeah,
Bret
no.
Michaels?
There's remarkably few photos of me from that period of time.
It is remarkable.
I wonder how that is.
It's like they've airbrushed you out of history.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Especially since you were hanging with all these big names and rock
Yeah.
stars and, hot girls and everything, and we can't find any trace
He
of
was
you.
the hidden key element of the 80s.
Yeah.
I now
The
realize.
secret weapon.
Yeah, so many of the songs, the bands, names, people.
Why are they airbrushing on it?
Yeah.
I don't understand. That's
Because
like,
the world cannot handle the kind of saucy stories that I have from the 80s.
you've got a lot of dirt on them.
Exactly. It's the Illuminati, man. The man is trying to hold me back,
All right, so Bret Michaels from Poison.
Yes.
Poison!
He
Okay.
was, he copied me, obviously.
Yeah.
But we do share a similarity in aesthetics.
So what was the inspiration there? What did you inspire him? How did you inspire him to greatness?
Well, he had regular T-shirts with the collar up to here, to his neck.
I thought he buttoned them as well, didn't he? No?
Until I came along and he was like, whoa, look at that dude's plunging neckline.
Hairless.
Look at the 40 women who follow him around. So he then started to cut his T-shirts lower and lower.
Became a V-neck. You
Exactly.
introduced the world to the V-neck.
I introduced the world to the V.
It might have gone down to the vest as well, all opened up. I want to know about your arm decor, your tats.
Yes, these are tats which were, done the traditional Maori way.
Yeah. Hours with chiseling at your
Oh, I employed 19 woodpeckers to peck it onto my arms. It took 4 days. It cost me $40,000.
and a bit of pain. Just a bit, or were you good with it?
I was numb after the first 10 minutes.
I thought your tongue got numb there. No, 80s man actually went quiet on us for a second. You had to think like, ooh. Okay, so it was an
because
experience.
it was a painful time,
It was, it
He
was.
probably numbed out during the
Maybe
whole
he's a bit
experience.
peckish.
How are you feeling a bit? Have you had anything to eat as well? We should have asked you.
I mean, I exist on a diet of Mountain Dew and cigarettes, so don't really need any food.
The rockers, yeah.
That's right, the
Breakfast of
rockers.
champions.
No, but
Yeah.
that lends to his physique. I always felt that rockers, the rocker fitness regime should be an actual workout in gyms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just them living life, playing the guitar, jamming. They look like that. Slim, fit.
Was that like an outfit you would wear to exercise? With the really short shorts, like John McEnroe, and the high socks. Was that?
Oh,
ever a
you've got
thing with you?
you've got the leotard things, not the leotard things. The
Leg
socks,
warmers.
leg warmers.
Leg warmers,
Yeah,
yes.
leg warmers.
Would you like some?
Russell
Yeah.
Simmons, wasn't it?
That's right. That's right. Yeah, and Jane Fonda. They were the
Jane
two.
Fonda, Olivia
Irene
Newton-John.
Cara. Were you behind those?
Yeah,
crates
I
as
was.
well?
I was in Flashdance.
You were behind all of them.
You
were
were
in
in
Flash
I was the
Dance.
guy pouring the water from the top when the water splashed down upon her. I was the crew
The bucket
that
guy.
day. Yeah.
No.
You can
were
see my
more
name at
than
the bottom of the
Again,
credits.
that was the money shot right there. Yeah.
Bucket man.
You were more than that. Actually, they didn't want to pour any water. And you said, no, you can't do this without water, right?
Well, it was going to be
I
a
think
dry
that's how it
shower.
went.
It was going to be a dry shower. So
Yeah.
she's going to pull the thing, and it was just
And it
going
was
to be
just going to
what?
be baby powder,
Oh.
Yeah, and then he was like, what? Guys, no, right? That's why your credits are right at the very bottom.
Exactly. One of the many movie moments that I made happen.
Do me a favor. Say the word moist.
What? Stop flirting with him.
People don't like to hear that word, man.
Is that right?
Yeah, even in the 80s.
Even saying moist.
It's not kosher. It's not kosher. Yeah. Listen to 80s man. He knows his way around.
Oh, my goodness.
Follow his lead.
Moisture and buckets and water.
Oh, Lord. But
Yeah,
you see,
good thing he's not called the wet man.
just when I thought his influence, would end in the music realm for the 80s, we find out it extended to the movies as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Right? Flashdance now had his influence as well, that iconic scene,
Yep.
water pouring on her.
The money shot,
Oh.
extensive reach into
Bill and
the
Ted's Excellent
entertainment
Adventure.
industry.
You know when Indiana Jones was running away from that ball? That was my bowling ball.
Were you pushing it from behind?
We're going to head back on air, okay? Come and join us.
And that's your sports update. I'm Colette Wong.
Hey, good morning. Last hour of the show, but definitely not the last of our greatest hits of all time countdown, the 80s edition. Now we're going into the top 6. And this next one, oh my goodness, when you hear it, you will know it. It is the synth pop song, I think, of the 80s. You know, it was successful all over Scandinavia, Europe as well, and it is definitely the band's signature song. It's been covered by many artists.
Okay.
Even Jay-Z of today, his song Young Forever, you know, he tembalik the title.
He switched the words around.
He did. That one came out in 2001. I'm very sure 80s Man had an influence on that as well.
100%.
Yes, indeed. So that is coming in at song number 6. It's Alphaville with Forever Young. Makes me want to ask, 80s Men, you stay forever young. How so?
What's the secret?
Well, like my friend Shazad, we were both born in 1962. But a carefully planned moisture regime has kept me looking.
In fact, he's still got some of it on his cheeks
sunscreen
right now.
on his
So
face
that's
right now.
sunblock. Sun protection is also key.
Very
That's
key.
80s Men?
Oh, it's definitely important. So this band, incidentally, back in 1983, I founded my own town.
Did you now?
And it was named after the physique which I had at the time, so it was called Alphaville. That's where they took the name.
Everything is made so much clearer. Thank you, 80s Man.
All roads lead to 80s Men.
It does.
You gotta
It does.
come join us on Facebook Live. Facebook.com/1FM913. All will be revealed.
Alphaville,
Really? 80s Man?
your physique at that time.
It was a short-lived town. There was only a population of 80.
One? Okay.
It is not too bad. It's not too bad. Some towns have only had one person.
You didn't
do
populate the
well.
town, though, right? As far as we know.
Oh,
Did you?
hey, whoa.
Our hardest working maternity ward in Northern California.
Also, they were all pregnant mamas. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So we've now got a town that you're responsible for. Some of the best hits of all time you've written or inspired.
Oh, there's other things too. You know, the slogan for Nike, I came up with it.
Just do it. Right.
Really?
Took that a little too literally, I feel, at times.
Really?
Oh, I feel like the heavens
So
have
I
opened
was
up.
in the boardroom for Nike, and they were designing their logo. And they were like, so indecisive, dude. You know, they're like, ooh, this swooshy smile thing, should we do it? And I was like, just do it.
And they went, wow.
And they went with it. They were like, 80s man, you were so correct.
Where would we be without you, 80s Men? I wonder. You
Lots of
know?
things would be
If you
different.
weren't 80s Men, what would you be doing with your life? I mean, honestly.
good question.
Yeah.
Were you born?
Wow.
Oh, I'm silent,
Stumped.
80s Men.
Stumped.
I don't understand the question.
There
was
can
there-
be no other life.
Yeah, he
apart
was there at
from-
the
Do you
beginning of
ask
time.
Lionel Messi what would you do if you didn't play football?
That's true. That's true. You're right up there. Another goat, which is appropriate for today. Yes, indeed.
Oh, and do you guys go back as well, you and Lionel Messi? Were you the inspiration behind his great football strategies and technique? And
You know,
Well,
of all the
yeah,
sports
I was
stars of then
I was
as
the
well.
roadie for the Rolling Stones in '84, and we were passing through Buenos Aires, Argentina,
as you do.
One
yeah.
thing led to another.
and then Mick loves a kickabout. All right, guys,
All right.
can we have a kickabout of the football?
Kick Jagger, well known.
Kick Jagger.
Yeah.
And so we were just, playing beforehand, and there was this tiny little boy watching from the window. And years later, I learned that he was Lionel Messi.
In 1984, interesting. I mean, that'd be about 41 by now or something. But yeah, okay.
I bet his name was Lionel, and you decided to hippify it a little bit, right? It's like, hey man, Lionel's just so 70s. Let's go with Lionel.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
that's exactly what
Christmas
happened.
song.
In fact, we are going back on 1FM 91.3. What is 80s Men talking about? Let's find out who made it to spot number 5 in our countdown.
Forever young, may we all be forever young here on 1FM 91.3. In fact, tuning in, lots of our listeners are saying, I feel like I'm being brought back to the 80s and 90s. It was such a fun generation. I really love that era. Thank you so much for chiming in. We are, of course, live on Facebook, facebook.com/1FM 91.3, counting down to number 1 on our greatest hits of all time charts. It is the 80s edition.
Edwin Lowe, he says, I want to be forever young. Well, we take a bit of inspiration from 80s man here.
So it's moisturizing and sunblock.
Yes.
That is key.
Yeah, and a diet of what? Mountain Dew and
guava. I just buy guavas and just rub it directly on my face.
Okay.
Yes, and everything else is down to his good genes. So I'm sorry, but that's only the tips we can give to you.
The red ones as well,
Guava,
I think I noticed. Yeah.
All right. So our next song at number 5, 80s man, you don't seem like you really approve.
Oh, I love it.
You
Please. I'm so happy that you have a Christmas song so high up in your countdown.
What's your connection to this one?
Well, I invited Wham out for a Christmas vacation because I owned a chalet.
Okay.
Obviously in northern Switzerland.
Not a chateau.
And they came out with all their friends and were like, hey, 80s man, we want to shoot a video. We got a new song. And I was like, okay. The reason I like George so much is he was just such a kind guy. We would hang out all the time. And he always left all the women to me. He just let me get all the women, which I thought was very generous.
Is that how they got their name? Wham Bam, thank you, ma'am?
I don't know.
Is that how they got
That's
their
name?
No.
No, I think like Wham as an impactful music.
Right. Yeah, like woohoo!
Yeah,
like,
woo,
yeah.
Wham!
Yeah, so if you look carefully at this video, you will see me throw in the first snowball.
You're that guy.
Yeah.
That is such a...
I was wondering what that was.
That is a great music video. It's super fun. It's our second Christmas song on the countdown as well.
Yes, that is really, really a great addition. But here's the other thing. This song has been covered by many artists since its original release, the likes of Taylor Swift, even Ariana Grande. And back then, when they released this song, Wham actually donated all the royalties of this song to the Ethiopian famine. Such nice guys. They're good guys. They're really good guys, like you said, huh?
Great guys.
So here it is, Wham with Last Christmas. Go check out the music video. See if you can spot
80s man.
I know.
The other guy in Wham again?
Oh, you guys are putting this up as we do it, is it?
Yeah, so we are back here on Facebook Live.
Andrew
Ridgely.
Andrew Ridgely, that's right. It's always George Michael and the other guy.
Hey, but I hear that the Netflix documentary on Wham is really, really good.
Oh, I got to go check it out.
Have you all catch it? Yeah. It was Cheryl Miles who said you got to go and catch it. It's really, really good. Alrighty, so that came in at song number 5, Last Christmas by Wham.
I have a question from Kermit. He's very, very curious to know why 80s man sounds like Donald Trump.
Oh no. What?
And what's the connection there? You and Trump?
Donald Trump sounds like him. What are you talking about,
Exactly. He based
80s man sounds like Donald Trump.
I would have thought he sounded more like a surfer.
Ew.
Yeah, dude. California through and through.
There you go. I hope that clarifies things for Mr. G over there.
There you go. I hope yeah.
So Last Christmas, do you like Christmas, 80s man?
Oh, I can remember Christmas time through the 80s.
What special traditions do you have?
Opening up, the presents, my newest skateboard, or Care Bear.
Ooh.
Or...
You liked your Care Bears, did you?
Transformers? Did you have any Transformers toys?
Mask.
Oh, Mask is great. Do you remember Visionaries?
Thundercats.
Visionaries.
Oh,
that was so good. Not a lot of people remember Visionaries.
Because there's only one season.
Yeah.
It was like 10 episodes of the show
great,
and then it
though.
stopped.
I mean,
They call you the Visionary, don't they? I thought that was after you.
Yeah.
Another one that you're been upset about.
Enough said. Any special Christmas traditions in your household, 80s man?
Well, let me see. I always dress up as Santa Claus and visit the local orphanages.
You, as 80s man. With a beard.
Well, this
With
is
the red
one.
pants. He's got the red pants.
That's where the red pants come from, yeah.
Did you put the beard on?
He just moves the wig around
I don't know. I don't put a beard on.
from the head to the chin.
I grow a beard deliberately. Yeah, it takes me about 3-4 days, and I'll have a full beard ready for the children.
One of those bushy ones as well. Not
bet.
like a stubbly one like Shazad.
You know what? 80s man is just such a nice guy. You know, he's so creative, he's so influential, and look at him doing it for the orphans at Christmas.
This
80s
one's for
man.
the children.
I know. He probably
He wrote
inspired
that too.
song.
Yeah.
Oh, and also,
Children
We Are the
of
World. Yeah.
That was by you. I'm not surprised.
We had that earlier.
I'm not surprised. You know, I always wondered when it came to that big group of getting all those superstars together to sing. Now I know how they did it.
Yeah.
They say, hey, 80s men, could you
Well, yeah, I mean, it's
put in a word for us?
It's
Tell your
believed
friends.
that Lionel Richie organized it, but actually, it was just me. I got on the telephone and I was like, "Yo, it's a Tuesday night. Who's gonna party with 80s man?"
And they
then
all
just
showed
came
up.
in.
They all showed up.
And then you recorded a song.
Yeah, that was just me like humming along, humming a tune.
So they didn't want Madonna there. They chose Cyndi Lauper instead. They said
Well,
Madonna was just.
I made the
not big
executive
enough.
decision.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's a bit awkward to have your ex-girlfriend there, so.
You must have had
you've had a
many
few-
ex-girlfriends
a few
there.
attending.
What you talking
Yeah,
about?
but Madonna's the one that, like,
The one that got away.
she might throw stuff. You
She's
know?
too much of a material girl. Maybe that's not his type of thing.
Oh, okay. Look, we are not yet going back on air. We've got this next song coming up. We're going into the top 4, right? But now I want to ask 80s man, or even you guys, who do you think will make it to top 3? Or who do you want in the top 3?
Can
Don't
I
have to
just
be all the
say
positions.
something?
You know?
This is very egregious. There's no Janet Jackson song on this chart. What is going on?
Yeah, I know.
I don't see Janet anywhere.
Somebody
So I know.
pointed that out. You know,
Me.
all we were. Oh, no. Not just you. I think it was also like the day before, maybe on Monday or something. A listener had actually typed in, but I think it was on Carrie's shift or
Yeah.
Tim's shift, and then we were all like, yeah.
Are you upset about that, 80s man? There's no Janet anywhere. What's going on?
It's all because of the name, the letter in your name. In the 80s, you had to be named MJ to be successful. Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, Michael Johnson. There's no JJ.
That's true. That's true.
If she had been called Michaela Jackson, she would have had a better chance.
You're right. You know what? It's so obvious, but yet, these ladies. So you're very upset that Janet Jackson is not in the top 100. But what about top 3? Who do you want to see? Just
Janet.
Really?
I just want to see Janet. Come on.
I wanted U2. I love my U2.
Oh,
they were
that's
further
right.
down the
You
charts.
do love them.
I have
eh?
to. We have to accept. Yeah.
80s man, who would you approve to be in the top 3? Just any of the positions.
Your former bandmates from Bon Jovi?
Oh, man, I guess Bon Jovi's going to be up there somewhere, right? With a song undoubtedly stolen from my back catalog.
I bet. Just to rub it in.
How about music from your ex-girlfriend? Maybe something from Madonna. Because she features a lot on the chart this year as well.
Yeah.
Rooting for her? No.
Well, I feel a bit sorry for her, when I see her now, when I follow the news now, and she's with all these young, hot boyfriends. She's obviously just trying to recapture the
time
spirit
with you.
of 85.
Right.
With 80s, man.
Felt like holidays all around, right?
Did she
Yeah.
ever call you back? Like when she was alone, single?
Oh, call me back. I had to block her.
Oh!
She was
You blocked
relentless.
Madonna. Fair enough. Understandable.
Wow, I never knew the influence that you guys actually, that 80s man actually had on all these women.
Yeah,
And you know what? The love affair still
I
continues.
wonder if you got along with her dad, because, she often said, Papa, don't preach. Was that the time that you two were together? Was he
Well,
upset
I
about
remember she attempted to get a bit more religious, thinking it would entice me back. And that led to Like a Prayer and in that music video.
Oh, right. Yeah. Obviously.
It still didn't bring you back.
No, it did not.
Okay.
He's got bigger and better things to move on to.
Yeah.
I mean, Julia Roberts, can't top that.
So you know what? Listeners are all still chiming in who they think will be taking the number 1 spot. So keep them coming in. Who knows? You might be the one that we're actually going to call back. So of course, send them into 88550-913. Ooh, right now on air, we've got song number 4 playing. I'll just tell it to you now. It's actually The Police with Every Breath You Take. Anything on them?
We
80s
had
men? Oh, what?
sorry, someone guessed that this would be the number one song. So
Oh,
I
no.
think sorry.
You spoiled it for that
Yeah.
person. That's it. His whole morning is gone.
No, he's saying on on Facebook. I'm like, okay, that's the song that we're playing right now. So no, guess again,
There's
guess
another
again.
one here. Ahud also saying, "Oh man, there goes my prediction."
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Try again. It's not
You know,
too late.
this song is estimated, it's their signature song, right? And it was estimated to be the most played song in radio history. I'm
What?
surprised. I'm like,
Really?
okay, yeah.
I mean, this song just came back to popularity during COVID, right? Because we're all so concerned about the breath that everyone takes. Oh yeah, speaking of which,
Alrighty.
80s man, how did you deal with that?
Let's head on back on air and find out how COVID was with 80s man. There you have it. Song number 4 in our countdown. The Police with Every Breath You Take. Just to share a little bit about this, he actually wrote this song while he was sitting at Ian Fleming's writing desk
Ooh.
I didn't know there was such a place, the Golden Eye Estate in Jamaica.
Wow. Ian Fleming, of course, responsible for James Bond.
That's right.
And then GoldenEye, of course, became one of those movies.
Yeah.
And you know something funny? He was asked in an interview, why did he appear so angry in the music video? And he told the BBC Radio 2 who interviewed, he said, because I think the song is actually very sinister, very ugly. But what they didn't know was that because 80s, he just had a fight with 80s man, didn't
of
he?
course.
Well,
Don't choke. Tell the truth.
every breath you take. Yeah, we were buds. You know,
I feel like every story starts with that.
What is it with you and friendships? You just can't seem to hold on to them.
I actually came up with his name,
I think so.
his nickname. Yeah,
His real name, Gordon
Sing.
Matthew Thomas Summer.
So I mean,
Not very rocky.
Gordon and I were just walking down the street one day. We were meeting up, and I was like, "Hey, we're meeting some ladies, so make sure you dress well." And he appears in this ridiculous, like, black and white sweater, and I'm like, "Dude, we're not going to pick up any ladies like this. You look like a bumblebee. You look like a sting." And that's where
That's how it was.
That's how the name came
I
about.
thought it was because you walked away, and it hurt. It really hurt him, and he's never got over that. That's what I thought it was. But okay,
Yeah.
this story sounds
Yeah.
more realistic.
Yeah, that's what happened.
80s man, what were you like during COVID, you know? Every breath you take, you know, that saw a resurgence during COVID because we're now so aware of people breathing.
Well, the medical community actually studied me because my body is so advanced that I'm completely impervious to COVID.
Right. So you weren't affected at all. Wow.
Not at all.
The
Amazing.
antibodies, they called you, right?
Came from
Yeah.
you, right?
Yeah.
The antibodies.
Yeah.
That's how we got the vaccines for COVID. Thank
Correct.
you, 80s man.
Thank you,
Thank you
80s
for your
man.
parts. Thank you.
Alrighty, this is it. We are down to the top 3. We're going to find out who they are in just a few moments. Traffic updates first.
They say good things come in threes. The Brightside with Carol, Lavinia and Shazad on 1FM 91.3.
It's a Wednesday, the 9th of October. 1FM Day Check brought to you.
Edition.
Okay, we've hit the point where everyone has just been staying really, really close because everyone wants to know who made it to the top 3 and, of course, the top spot. I approve of this one. This one has been doing very well in our countdown, even if it is not the 80s edition. I don't know how 80s man feels about it, but yes, Guns N' Roses' Sweet Child of Mine is at number 3, and this came about because of a jam session at the band's house in Sunset Strip. Yes, Slash came out with this iconic, of course, you know, the guitar riff. 80s man was somewhere in there.
Oh, I was there. So
Right?
halfway through the recording, Axel got bored and he was like, "I want to party. where should we go? Where's the hottest party? And so he looked at me across the room and he said, hey, 80s man, where do we go? Where do we go now? Because I was the best person to choose parties, and they just kept that line in the song.
Oh, so that's how that part came about. You don't find that in Wikipedia. You don't. You just don't.
You just don't get
Here we
these
go.
facts.
That it seems to me it's 80s man.
It's
now
you.
I know everything is so clear.
There's a story behind this one as well. And there has to be.
Oh gosh, there has to be, right? So where did y'all go in the end?
It must be quite a place.
We went to this like famous diner, you know, and we ordered like everything on the menu, and we like got a bit crazy. And
Milkshakes do that to you.
Milkshakes on the walls and things like that. So that's how they got the name Appetite for Destruction.
Oh.
It was after that day and the $20,000 bill to clean up this particular restaurant.
Oh my gosh.
Of course, they kept that off the books. That's why we don't read about it. We don't know about this, you know? I mean, all this is just like, we came up with it.
It's anecdotes like this that actually make this compelling listening today.
You know what? This
viewing.
countdown is all the more special because of 80s, man. We're finding out the truth behind so many iconic songs and
What's
people.
the story
of
behind
80s.
Guns N' Roses then? That name.
Yeah, so
funny one, that
me and Axel happen to be dating the same girl
at the same time.
We only found out later, and
so he brought a gun to you, and you brought a rose.
No, this was Valentine's Day gifts. Yeah,
Guns
so
N' Roses?
I being the lover man
that you
send a dozen roses,
of course.
And Axel had a darker streak to him, so he sent some guns. But after that, February 14th, they needed a band name, and that's where it comes from.
Yeah, so that's how integral you were to the group.
Yeah.
And this
before that, they were just called Pistols and Tulips.
Carnations. Okay.
Oh, pistols and tulips. That's not going to cut it.
That's not going to fly at all.
Thank goodness for 80s, man. Can we all just take a moment and give him a round of applause?
Yes.
Because
So
80s,
glad
man,
that
it
you
could have gone
stepped in.
really
You
bad.
saved rock and roll, my friend. You have.
Rock and roll, the movie industry, Hollywood, all the
Pistols
single
and
ladies.
tulips.
He's there for them.
Oh, Lord. Pistols and tulips.
So whose child is it?
Yes,
Sweet
that's
child.
exactly what I wanted to ask. Whose child are we talking about?
Yeah.
Well, I was at that orphanage that I was talking about, and I decided, why keep all this wonderful life and wealth to myself? So I adopted 19 children that day.
Wow, look at you.
They would eventually become the San Francisco 49ers because we had a very intense sports program.
I
at
thought they
home.
would just be part of Alphaville, that town you started.
Alphaville
That's
didn't last
true.
long.
That's true.
Didn't last long. So 19 of the 80 inhabitants were your kids. Right.
That's right.
And the rest were the women in the hospital. Okay.
Yeah.
Saving the one child at a time.
I feel
Single?
a bit concerned for you, Carol. You sitting next to 80s men like that. You're at risk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
one
chance.
time I just walked past Demi Moore and she got pregnant.
Yeah, that famous picture.
Exactly,
I
that
was
famous
just-
picture
I
where
was
she's
just
on the
gonna
front of
say-
the magazine.
Oh, she wasn't pregnant? And then
And I was,
Just
I was
like
nearby.
that.
Yeah.
I was going to say, 80s men single-handedly repopulating the earth.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
someone's got to do it.
Singapore needs you
we
right now.
need you, definitely. The government.
Why do you think I'm here? They sponsored me, man.
Careful as well, because Lavi could end up with twins. But
Hey!
careful, just careful.
Hey!
He walks past you. He just walked past you. Careful.
You know, Gavin's going to be there tonight.
Oh, is he?
He might start a fight with 80s man, thanks to you.
Who's Gavin coming
Stirring
as?
it all up. Sorry?
Who's Gavin coming
My
as?
husband.
Oh, he's coming as your husband. The 80s husband. Okay.
Oh, alrighty. So right now we've got on air playing song number 3, Guns N' Roses, Sweet Child of Mine. I guess I'm a little bit surprised to not see it at number 1. It's been, doing really, really well.
It's been voted in the top 3, I think, for the past number of years,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And,
It's been a perennial favorite here.
Exactly.
Definitely. We're going to
It's
head
not
back
going
on air.
anywhere.
You know what I think it is? You know, if it was Pistols and Tulips, as 80s men said they were named before he stepped in and corrected it, I don't think it would have done so well.
P&T, they would have been
Who
known
wants
as.
to
It's not the
follow
same ring as
Pistols?
GNR, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Pistols and Tulips. Alrighty.
It might have been, the title might have been Whose Child Is It? As well, you know.
Unknown.
asking, or somebody was asking, where are all the rock songs, ne?
Yes.
Give it to you.
We've got some.
Kermit was
Great.
actually wondering, where did the rock songs go?
Guns N' Roses,
There.
Kermit, Sweet Child of Mine. Coming in at song number 3. This is getting exciting because it makes you think like, I thought that one was going to be like top 1 or even, you know, number 2.
Yeah, as
A
a
lot of
previous
people
winner, right?
predicted,
Yeah,
yeah.
so if now it's at number 3, who's going to be at number 2? Well, I shall not keep the suspense any further. I'm sorry that it's a former friend, now enemy.
John?
Yes.
John Bon Jovi?
Yes, he's in number 2 with Living on a Prayer.
You know, I actually wrote the lyrics originally for this song.
I bet you did.
It was about my time as a resident of a southern neighborhood here in Singapore.
Okay.
It was called Living Tilak Ayer. And then they changed to Living on the Prayer.
Oh, I see. You know what? That's similar to the story that they gave the press. So I guess there is some truth in what the 80s man.
Has to be.
You know, he said that it was very much inspired by a working, you know, couple and their struggles and all that. It was actually 80s man. Who were they struggling with? The lady. Who was
Oh,
she?
yeah. At that time, Cindy Crawford.
Sorry?
Oh,
Yeah,
Cindy
she came to
Crawford?
Singapore, tried to make it in the modeling world. But everyone just knew her as 80 Man's girlfriend. So it was tough for her. Tough to live in this shadow.
So here it is, Living on a Prayer. This is coming in at song number 2, Bon Jovi. Enjoy this one here.
Fun fact, his son actually just got married to Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things.
You
That's right.
mentioned that. Oh,
yeah,
congratulations.
very
then.
good-looking young couple they make.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Did you have a hand in that?
Yeah, Stranger Things is based on my Halloween in 1986.
I'm not surprised.
We're not.
Yeah. All right. Enjoy.
He's not appreciating
No,
it.
he's got the deep V vest as well.
Oh,
you see,
really
But-
did.
but the
You
main-
really went
these
there.
guys
You
were really
did.
tight. Look,
the
it's
chest
fine.
main. The chest main is the big difference between the two.
Yeah. He's got the hair, and you. Oh,
Do you have
He's got
chest
more.
hair, sir?
I very much have very little hair. At the
Oh.
moment, yeah.
what?
But I see some
Barely.
curls peeking
They're just peeking
out.
out. They're just
Yeah, it's
having a
just
little-
like, you know, they're flirting with all of us very gently.
By the way,
like the little hair
Philip
movement.
says he finds you very amusing and he would like you to start a stand-up comedy.
80s man, you're
Did you
still
ever
in demand. Look
consider-
at that.
Well, I actually invented stand-up comedy back in 1980.
Of course you did. Yeah.
There was a guy called Eddie Murphy, right? And
He was a bit raw, though, I feel. And I think
was
you,
raw.
you had to mold him.
we were hanging out over dinner, and I just said, Eddie, you're funny, man. You should do this. Maybe in front of people for money. And that's when stand-up comedy was invented.
And it was born thanks to you.
Yeah.
We have so many greats just because you wanted to be honest with your friends.
Yeah.
80s man.
I'm curious. 80s man, where do you see yourself when you're 80?
Oh, what?
Then you will really be the 80s
Whoa. That is
Alive.
deep.
man. Yeah.
Alive.
Do you even get to 80? I'm not sure.
Seeing as how you're so resistant to aging and all that, you're drinking from the
No, he
fountain
should
of
do.
youth.
He would do really
You're
well. He'd just
inspiring
be the same.
vaccines.
Yeah, you look the same.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's my prediction.
Look at
He'll
Keith
just be the
Richards at
same.
80.
Yeah.
Aged so well.
I think I'll probably be like Keith Richards, you know.
But with better skin.
Yeah.
Because you put your moisturizer
That's right.
and
The
sun cream
guavas.
and the
And
guava.
your-
It's
and
all
the
about the
Guavas
guava.
straight on. My grocery bill is ridiculous.
That too, because you also had to feed 19 orphans and that you adopted and stuff like that. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Well, they're grown up now, of course. They're in the NFL for the San Francisco 49ers.
Wow, so you are doing well, huh?
They make a good amount of money. They're fine.
So you'll be cushy then, in your 80s. You'll be nicely settled, home in Beverly Hills, that kind of thing. Are you going to be settling in Telok Ayer? I'm not sure.
I mean, I have fond memories of my time in Telok Ayer.
That sounds a little bit Donald Trump.
That bit is.
Okay, everyone, we're heading back on air to reveal song number 1 in the countdown. Woo!
Where is home for 80s man? I want to know. Where is home for 80s?
You want to find him, is it? You want to pay a visit, Carol? See, the charms are
working. Is it the Music Mansion? Is that what you say?
Who used to live in the south of Singapore. Oh, sorry, no, that was 80s man. Living on a Prayer. That's our number 2 song.
And he's wrong. Because we're not halfway there.
No,
we are here.
Oh my gosh.
We are here.
Right.
For number 1.
Is song number 1. Remember, you guys voted in the top 300 songs, nominated in, right? And then from there, it was you guys that actually voted in the top 100 songs. And you made this song come in at number 1. Which song is it? They are Norwegian. They have a lot of synth pop, and their name itself sounds like a eureka moment. That's right. It is Aha's "Take on Me." Woo! Oh, how do you feel about that, 80s man?
Well, I remember when they first came to me with the video concept.
Yeah, what happened?
And I just happened to have my own sketchbook beside me at the time.
No.
And I said, just give me 10 minutes. And I sketched up a few images.
You put something together, right?
And that's how the video happened, guys.
The animation. Wow.
But that is so iconic.
Yep.
They claimed it was some studio that, worked really hard on it, because back then, this was all new, right? That kind of like animation. It was just you?
You're welcome.
We are proud of them. The Hawks are proud of what's been done. He moved across to Norway. Morten Harket here with Aha.
The number 1 song in this year's Greatest Hits of All Countdown, the Greatest Hits of All Time Countdown for the 80s edition. It is Aha's "Take on Me." Woo!
We had, to be fair, quite a lot of people were kind of speculating about this the last few days, weren't they? This was going to be the one or not.
Yeah.
This was, I don't know, why was it such an overwhelming favorite? Why do you guys think this is such a great song? What do you guys think?
It's the beat of it, that synth pop elements and all that, but the beat itself and the guy's voice, how he reaches all those high notes is just actually very amazing. I can't.
Did you assist with that as well, by the way?
Yeah. You loaned him your pants.
Yes, that's
very
right.
Tight.
I had the tightest pants in all of California at the time. And Morten said, I need some help reaching these notes. So I lent him my snuggest pair. And
look at it now.
And that's how he reached those notes.
Holy moly.
There's a video of Morten Harket going around. He revisits one cafe where he shot a music video with another lady.
Oh.
And he actually spends his time between Norway and the UK now. He actually has a house there. And he's got a British accent. He speaks like a proper Brit now. Oh, lovely. Like,
Did you get your pants back?
Actually, those pants are hanging in the Hard Rock Cafe of California, of Los Angeles.
They've been responsible for so much.
So, guys, thank you so much, for nominating, voting in, and also, staying with us as we counted all the way to number 1. There you have it, Aha's Take on Me. In just a bit, we are going to make a phone call and call up this someone who guessed correctly song number 1. It might just be you, so please do stay close to your phones. Thank you so much for joining us here on Facebook Live and also 80s Man.
Hey, the cool thing is we are going to see 80s Man and his legendary partying tonight.
That's right.
Is that so?
I'm a bit scared, actually. I'm a bit scared.
That's right. The Singapore police are going to be there. The riot police, in case things get out of hand.
Hold him back. This is going to be wild.
All the ladies, oh my God, clamoring for 80s Man. Shazad,
oh man.
Are you ready for some action too?
I'll help fight them off for you, okay?
Thank goodness I'm pregnant
already,
you know? I feel like I have some form of protection. I'm pregnant.
Right.
He can't touch me.
No more
I'm
accidents,
done.
please.
There's no space.
Yeah. No accidents, please.
Alrighty, back on air.
So tight.
So it was revealed as we shared the number 1 song in this year's countdown, Aha, Take on Me. We wanted to know 80s Man's influence on the song. And I felt that the high notes in this song, by the lead singer is impossible. It's impossible for mere mortals like myself to achieve. And I asked 80s Man, did he have a role in that?
Yes. I had a famous pair of leather pants at that time, which were so incredibly tight that Morton asked to borrow them. And during the recording session, just hoisted them up real tight, real snug. And that's how he reached those notes.
I see. Thank you for that, because I think if that song didn't have those high notes,
it wouldn't have been the same.
Yeah,
the world thanks you.
That's right. So everyone, there you have it. Our top 100 songs in our 80s edition of the greatest hits of all time countdown. And we are going to celebrate it all tonight.
That's right. At Simply Retro, come join us for our flash dance party. If you got those invites, guys, you don't want to miss it. We're going to be there from 7 p.m. That's when doors open, okay? And of course, our grand finale, you're going to see Jive Talking recap the top 10 songs. They're going to be singing live. We're going to be dancing. We're going to be playing games, drinking, having fun, and eating lots of yummy food as well.
And most important of all, you get to come up and say hi to 80s Man.
That's right. You know what? Thanks to 80s Man. It's kind of funny. I don't think it's any coincidence that Aha is at number 1, because we've had a lot of aha moments counting down to the top.
I know, right?
10 with 80s
you
Man.
You are the hit maker. I believe every single song we've mentioned today, you've got a link. It's just uncanny.
You had a hand in everything.
How on earth?
Yeah.
And the right guy in the right place at the right time.
80s Man.
And we will see you tonight as well. Am I sure, right? 80s Man.
See you there, ladies.
91.3. We've got weather and traffic up next.